Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today it's going to be a very basic video. I really want to put my money where my mouth is by showing you that this Redodo 12 volt 140 amp hour battery paired up with a 2000 watt inverter can power all of the small appliances in your house. So let's get started with just start turning on and powering up a bunch of things that I feel are common in the kitchens of everyone that watches these videos. So let's get started. First, we're going to start with what I consider a really truly essential part of the kitchen, whether it be at your house or in your RV, is the new wave. And so we're going to go ahead and crank it up to 1300 watts. We got some water in there and we're just going to hit start. And you can see it's running it just fine with, it's using 1270 watts right now. So, new wave, no problem. Maybe you're the type of person that likes to go with just the classic hot plate. Let's go ahead and plug that in. Turn it on high. It uses 950 watts. Again, no problem for the Redodo. For those of you that have like some sort of griddler or like a sandwich maker, let's go ahead and plug that in. Turn it on high. And it uses 1170 watts. So again, no problem. All right, for the people that have a small microwave, let's go ahead and try that. Let's just microwave this water for 30 seconds. And we are using right at 130 watts. 1130 watts, let's just say. All right, and those of you that have the bigger 1100 watt microwaves, let's go ahead and try that. Let's microwave this for 30 seconds. All right. And the kilowatt is now showing almost 1700 watts. But again, it's no problem for this Redodo. All right, you got a toaster? Let's go ahead and toast some bread. This toaster is using 870 watts. All right, nice and toasted. All right, you got a food processor at your house? Let's go ahead and try that. All right, here we go. Now remember, there's nothing in here, but it shouldn't really affect the initial surge too much. I mean, yeah, that's only 200 watts. See, even when you pulse it, no big deal. All right, how about an Instapot? Let's go ahead and plug it in. And honestly, I haven't used this thing in a long time, so let's just go ahead and pour some water in there. And that's all. We're just trying to see if it'll work. Honestly, I have no idea if it's going to work. So let's just say we're gonna cook some meat stew for 4 minutes. Sure. As you can tell, I really don't know what I'm doing. There we go. It's turned on. And the Instapot is using actually 1130 watts. So with this Instapot using 1100 watts and this Redodo battery having 1790 watt hours, you could power this for well over an hour. Maybe even up to like an hour and 20 minutes, you know, since you're talking about losing a little bit due to the inverter. But still, you could use this for an hour with this Redodo battery. Maybe you don't have an Instapot. Maybe you just have like a regular crock pot. Let's see what this powers. It's off. Let's plug it in. Put some water in there. Let's turn it on high. Oh my gosh, look at that. On high, this thing only uses 166 watts. I'm gonna leave it on for like 5 minutes to see if it goes up any higher. All right, this crock pot has been going for at least 5 minutes and it's still only using 166 watts. So that means that this Redodo battery could actually power this crock pot for, you know, I would say if it was a full battery, I would say you could probably get 9 to 10 hours out of this battery using this crock pot. All right, for all you coffee lovers out there, me included, let's go ahead and plug this in and brew up a full pot of coffee. Full pot, rich brew. And right off the bat, we're using 1400 watts. Now, if you're using just a regular 100 amp hour battery that had a 100 amp BMS continuous, it would really struggle with this. It might actually air out due to an over amperage event. But with this one, it has 150 amp BMS inside. So it can handle these kind of wattages for a much more extended amount of time. All right, and just to let you know, we're still using 1359 watts to make our coffee. But if you look at the app, you can see that it's actually using 1630 watts coming directly from the battery. And that's due to the losses being incurred from the inverter. So you kind of have to keep that in mind when you're powering stuff, that your kilowatt will say something, but your battery is actually pulling a little bit more. All right, our coffee is done. And right now it's using about 38 watts for the heating plate. I'm guessing that's probably going to go up. I wouldn't recommend using the heating plate. If you're going to be running off of a battery, I would make your coffee and then I would turn this unit off. So that way you're not just wasting energy with hot coffee. Perfect. All right, the next thing is just your typical can opener, and even though there's not a can on here, this thing doesn't use much power, but I just wanted to make sure and let you know. Yeah, 50 watts, 60 watts. So a 2000 watt inverter will power this with absolutely no issues whatsoever. All right, and last but definitely not least is the Pizzazz pizza oven. I use this thing multiple times a week, so I want to make sure I can cook a frozen cheese pizza using just the Redodo battery. All right. This thing just spinning uses about 13 watts. Let's go ahead and put the pizza on there. This pizza will probably take about 15 minutes to cook. All right, let's set it for 16 minutes. All right, and we are using 1225 watts, which this Redodo battery can handle just fine, and the 2000 watt inverter can handle just fine. So I'll be back when this pizza's done. All right, our pizza is done. I actually added a couple more minutes because it wasn't quite done yet. So I cooked it for 18 minutes. And you can see that the Redodo app, I mean, I still have 32% left on the battery, but the funny part is I think I started it at about 65%. So it uses about, what, a third of the battery capacity to cook a cheese pizza. All right, well, I've powered everything that you see here with this Redodo 12 volt 140 amp hour battery. And I find it amazing. This pile is pretty much all of the small appliances that I have in my house, plus a couple of spare microwaves, which don't ask why I have them. I feel great now knowing that I can power all of this stuff with just one battery. So if you have any questions about the Redodo 12 volt 140 amp hour battery, please go ahead and leave them in the comments. I'll have this battery and everything else I used in this test in my description, just in case you want to look further into it. I also have an Amazon store and I'm hoping to put it on there as well. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye-bye.